What is the most disrespectful someone has done to you? When I worked at kiosk, someone sneezed into their hand and wiped it on my back when they passed by. What the f***? My first job as a photography intern, my boss posted on Facebook that he was going to fire me hours before he told me. We were friends on Facebook at the time. But why would he even post that in the first place? What a weirdo. He wanted to embarrass his 18-year-old intern, I guess. I'm sure others have it way worse, but when I was about 17, I was assembling a ride on a train track about 2 feet between rails for an indoor amusement park when the owner of the company came in. He decided to help me. I don't know why, I didn't ask for help and didn't need help. He helped me put a couple track segments together and decided that was enough work for him, so he got up off the floor and wiped his greasy, dusty hands off on my jeans with my leg in them. I was seriously incensed. With my leg in them, so obvious and yet so much better. It was the first day of one of my college courses and we were telling everyone our names. I said mine and the professor said, "My husband wanted to name our son that, but I don't want him to get made fun of. My name is Angus." That's a great name. Somewhat related, but when I started my job, I went in for orientation, had to fill out my employment paperwork, and the head of HR told me that her daughter and I shared a name, well actually a nickname, because though she and her husband loved my name as a nickname, they wanted their daughter to have a more professional sounding legal name. She didn't even seem to realise that she said anything I might find offensive. Was working at a Dairy Queen when I was 16. It was a hot summer day and a lady came in and dumped her melted Blizzard upside down on my arm hand. In the process it covered my register, the wall and the floor. She started yelling about how her ice cream melted and how I needed to make her a new one. She was served in the drive-thru. I was working the front counter inside. My co-worker said she left over 20 minutes ago. I still had to make her a new one and give her a refund. That's I'm so sorry. My ex-husband and I were on the road to divorce. I had done absolutely everything I could possibly think of to turn us around, and as a last-ditch effort, I wrote him a letter. I knew it had a 0.1% chance of doing anything, so it was also kind of a thank you for the good years letter too. We were living with his parents because originally we sold our house to make an upgrade. I guess that was his window of opportunity. Anyway, his mom found the letter and not only read it, but took pictures of it and shared it with multiple people who started tearing me apart via text. How did I know this? She never hears her phone go off, so I would usually bring it to her. I went to do that and saw the mentions of a letter and saw the context of what was sent. I didn't say anything, just set the phone back down and went outside to get a breath of air. Later that week, she said she was tired of me being around and that he needed me to sign the papers then and there, and I didn't get a say in anything. I mentioned sharing the letter and she said she was allowed to do that because it was in her house, therefore it was her property. Still trying to wrap my head around that one. And then they sat there and watched TV while I packed my things. I know my voice sounds very calm right now guys, but that one made my blood boil. A kid at school when I was younger who put his cigarette out on my face. Still got the burn scar. A lot of people have been asking about the repercussions and suing him for damages. I was really young back then, around 14, and the rules around bullying weren't set in stone. They left it off as kids being kids, even though I had serious burn marks on my face. We filed a complaint, went to the police and sued him. In the end, the lawsuit returned us with something minor because he was too young, so he did get some tasks he needed to fulfill by justice. It wasn't enough for me. Hope that clears the questions people had. Does the scar at least make you look like a badass? Locked my new bike up outside a supermarket and ducked inside to get some yogurt because it was Friday night, and that's how I de-stress after a long week. Self-checkout line was busier than expected, but I was in and out in about 10 to 15 minutes. Didn't want to leave it for too long because someone had pinched the seat from outside my house a couple of weeks earlier. From a short distance, I could see my bike was facing the opposite way I'd left it and felt a little confused. I got closer and saw my U-lock looking like a pretzel. It seemed like someone had tried to wrench off my lock, failed, and then just picked up my bike and tried to use it as leverage to pop the thing off, failed again, but succeeded in completely fucking the entire aluminium frame. Total write-off, could not be fixed. I had someone I considered a close friend send an unprovoked email outing me to the entire staff of the place I worked. Not only that, he took a screenshot of an online dating profile as proof and told them to keep their kids away from me. I was a teaching professional at a country club. Oh no, what happened after that? What a terrible, trifling position. Some people just really do get off on hurting others. I'm a very patient person. A couple years later, I happened to come upon the information that he was cheating with his next door neighbour's wife. Let's just say karma is a real My ex didn't allow me to have any female friends and wouldn't even let me say my best friend's female name in front of her. We broke up because she fell in love with her best friend, male. Holy shit, are you me? My ex-girlfriend hated any female that even tried talking to me. I had a female friend that helped me through a lot of rough shit my first year of college. She made me delete her number out of my phone. Whenever we'd fight, she would tell me to just date her instead. Yesterday, at my job, supermarket, I went outside with some guy to bring the handicap scooter back in. He immediately began to yell at me and curse at me about how he's handicapped and for not helping his wife unload their groceries. I tried to explain to him that because of the current situation, we can't touch people's groceries unless they specifically ask us. He wouldn't even let me talk, kept interrupting and insulting me. So I just stayed quiet and he eventually threatened to call his grandson to come kick my ass, then drove off with his wife, who was also insulting me under her breath. Being an essential worker sucks. That is terrible. I wish I could send you a virtual air hug. Dealing with the public can truly suck.